20 years ago, pilot Mark Palm felt called to put his skills to use saving lives. It took 10 years for him to raise the money to buy the first used float plane that he would transform into a flying ambulance and transport to Papua New Guinea, marking the beginning of Samaritan Aviation's work along the East Spayik River. We have Mark here with us today. He literally flew his plane into Greenville so he could be here. Mark, what a fun story you have.
Good morning. It's so great to be here.
Yes.
Well, you thought this up, what, back 2000, the year 2000?
You know, I had a chance to go to Papua New Guinea as a 19-year-old with a friend, and the two of us saw a really big need there, but no access or hope when there was medical emergencies. And there's water everywhere over in the South Pacific.
So that's the kind of plane you need.
That's right. So it's a water airplane. We work in an area, there's 700 miles. There's 220,000 people living along this river, and there's one hospital.
Oh my goodness.
And one hospital is 1 to 3 days away for all of those people living along this river, or it's an hour to 2 hour flight in an airplane. And so you can imagine the difference. 40% of all of our emergency flights are pregnant mothers, breech births, pregnancy complications, tuberculosis is still an issue over there, malaria, all kinds of sicknesses. And you can imagine being 3 days away from the nearest help when you have an emergency or an hour flight in a seaplane.
Thank God that you went over as a teen, I guess as a tourist, and saw this need and came back.
Yeah, I really went over there to see what the needs were in that area. I'm third generation aviator, so I kind of have that in my background, and my father was a minister, but just being able to see a need and say, what can I do to help? And that's really where the vision for Samaritan Aviation came from.
So how does it work? Do you get a call and then you fly in, or are you just there for a certain time and then make runs?
Yes, so we're based in Papua New Guinea. My family has lived over there most of the last 10 years, and so we get calls along the river, HF radio, or they'll call, sometimes they have to climb a mountain to get cell phone reception and call us in, and then we respond to those emergencies, take a nurse out, anti-venom, get them into that one hospital and save their lives.
You made a comment in your notes about it could be 5 to 7 days in a canoe or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to imagine that here in America.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be like trying to drive to Dallas to get to the nearest hospital for us, for those of you here in South Carolina.
And then think when you're, like if you're like panicked or not feeling well anyway, that's not a drive that you want to make.
Yeah, before we came, that was what we kept hearing, stories of people trying to get to the hospital and dying on the way. And that's really what inspired us to do it, and inspired to do something that's bigger than ourselves, to make a difference.
Well, you got more than one plane.
We have 2 airplanes full-time in Papua New Guinea now. We have 3 pilots, a medical director. And our goal as an organization is just to love on those people, to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We're a Christian organization, and we value those people, and we feel like they deserve a chance when they're going through emergencies and don't have access to hope, that we can offer that to them.
You said your daddy was a preacher. I hope he's alive and knowing what you're doing.
He is, and he's very proud of the work that we're doing. And it's just a blessing to do something, be part of something bigger than yourselves, and that's really the message that I have for people. It took us 10 years after this vision to finally get the airplane in New Guinea, going around America just telling this story. And I hope people don't give up on their dreams. You know, for me, it was a dream that I felt God gave me, and and all of those years, and it happened. And so I just try to encourage people, stay to your dreams and keep moving.
Can we buy some gasoline for you?
It'd be great. You can go on SamaritanAviation.org. We're on the Facebook page, Instagram. We'd love to have partners. That's a big part of what we're doing. 40% of our funding actually even comes from the Papua New Guinean government, and the other 60% comes from individuals and foundations here in America.
Isn't that good that they see what you're doing, and they're getting behind you too? It always helps when the people you're trying to help supports you. And
that's so important for us to know that we're just not here in America doing all of it, but it's a partnership, and that's very important.
All right, so if this story has moved you and you want to learn more, there is the website. You can follow them on social media. Again, what else would you need? Do you want another plane in the future, or? You
know, we're looking at expanding right now to the other part of the country, and so we have a new airplane that's here that I'm traveling around America on this Hope in Action tour, and we're raising money to finish that project. And we'll be needing more airplanes in the future, and we're also looking for staff to join us.
Do you have ever more than one plane in the air doing this? I mean, you got 4 planes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. We've already flown in 173 critically ill patients this year alone. Polio came back to PNG this year, so we've had over 80 flights with the polio vaccine outreaches. And so there's a lot of things we're doing. We've delivered 170,000 pounds of medicine in these little airplanes to these remote areas as well. So it's an amazing work. Check us out on the website, and you can learn more.
Thank you, Mark. It's so nice getting to meet you.
Very cool. Marching Indians from Gaffney High are going to do a tune for us here in a minute, so we'll visit them outside.